Hey everyone, and welcome back to Greasy Boy Customs. Today we're talking about disc brakes, in particular the Wilwood disc brake kit for this 9-inch axle and our 77 Ford Bronco Coyote swap project. Let's get started on it. And as you can see, we have the components for this kit laid out in front of me on the floor. I will put a link to this kit in the description below. Make sure you are very specific and pay attention to the fine details in the description when you are ordering a disc brake kit for these 9-inch axles. There are different diameter sizes for your axle flange bolts, as well as the spread and the bearing diameter and the offset on the axle flange as well. Make sure you order the right kit. The two small boxes contain your calipers. These are nice powder-coated, lightweight calipers, really nice. You've got two of those. In this box, you have your backing plates. These plates slide onto the axle. They also contain the parking brake that goes inside the hat of the rotor. Hardware kit, and in this box, you have your pads as well as your axle retainers. And they do have these adapter spacer rings. Make sure you pay very close attention to those. And as far as rotors go, we opted for a regular solid rotor. Now it is vented like a normal modern rotor, but we did not go with the drilled and slotted option. We're going to do the same on our front axle, and we wanted them to match. Supposedly this kit works with 15-inch wheels. We'll find out in a little bit. Let's find some instructions first and get started. Oh yeah, one important step. Remove all your old brakes first. This was already done on this axle because I already tore it down. But if you haven't, remove all your old brakes. Save everything like the hardware, your nuts and bolts, because you may need them. Now that we have the backing plate slid on with the axle, we're going to go ahead and try to get these T-bolts in. And just kind of stick them in there loosely. Don't tighten them up yet. Now the retainer clip, you can see, has a lip on the inside. That lip goes towards the seal. Now we're going to fight with our obnoxiously large fingers and try to get this in place and fail several times. Here we go. And we're going some more. Yep, there we go. Fighting, fighting, fighting. Still not successful. Let's move it around a little bit. Maybe that'll change things. Nope, still didn't. Let's stick my finger in the access hole. Now it's probably just going to get stuck. It's become one with the axle. There we go. No, we're still fighting with it. We're gonna get there. Just hold on. We're getting there. We're getting there. I swear. Okay, there we go. Now tighten them up. Access the bolt heads through that hole. We're just going to snug them down for now. Don't forget to go back and torque them properly before you slide the rotor on. Hey, look at that. Now that ring, there's a big lip and a little lip. The big lip towards the inside, little lip towards the outside. This holds the rotor centered. Now that we have the rotor slid on, we're going to take some lug nuts, screw them on. Now, I know these are backwards. Don't get in the comments getting all pissy because I got the lug nuts on backwards. We did that on purpose. Now, pull this bolt out, remove the axle pad retaining clip, install the caliper, make sure it is centered with the rotor. Now that we know it's centered, we're going to go ahead and bolt it on. Once we get it bolted on and tightened down, we're going to go ahead and install the brake pads. And the pads slide right in, no problem. Make sure they're not dragging on the rotor. Everything's good. We can go ahead and install the retaining clip. This thing's a little bit of a pain, but it's not too bad. Install your bolt and torque it down. Now we can fail at removing a sticker. Look at that. Now there's going to be a fitting that screws into the caliper. I don't have the hoses yet, so I'm just going to explain it to you. The fitting will screw in, and then you'll have a flexible line that comes out of that hole, and it's going to come out right there. At the fitting, run down the axle tube, weld a tab right here. Then you're going to be able to connect your hard line and run it over to that T-block. Well, I forgot to record the outro while we were out in the shop, so now we're doing it in the office. This kit was pretty easy to install. I really have no complaints about it. Everything fit very well. The only thing that you may not be able to do is welding that tab on the axle. Now, you don't have to have a big badass welder. You can do it with a cheap 110 welder. It'll probably get it hot enough to tack it and hold it on there. And then once you get those lines ran, you just have to bleed your brakes. and you should be good to go. Make sure everything works. Make sure those pads aren't dragging. Make sure each wheel is stopping correctly. You should be good. So thanks for joining me. And until next time, happy hot rodding.